Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, ಹೇಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ?
ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ದೆ ಪ್ರಭುಜಿ.
ನಿಮ್ದು ಹೇಗಿತ್ತು ಏಕಾದಶಿ ಅಂತ ಆಯ್ತು.
ಏನ್ ಪ್ರಭುಜಿ?
ಏಕಾದಶಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ರೌಂಡ್ ಆಯ್ತು?
ಇವ 8 ಅಂದ್ರೆ 8 ಜಪ್ ಮಾಲ ಪ್ರಭುಜಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ.
ಓಕೆ, 16 plus 8.
ಎಸ್ ಪ್ರಭುಜಿ.
ಸೂಪರ್, ವಂಡರ್ಫುಲ್. ನಾವು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ, ಇವತ್ತು ಹೋಗೋಣ, ಬರುವನ್ ಬರಲಿ. ಓಂ ನಮೋ ಭಗವತೆ ಓಂ ನಮೋ ಭಗವತೆ ವಾಸುದೇವಾಯ. ಓಂ ನಮೋ ಭಗವತೆ ವಾಸುದೇವಾಯ. ನಾರಾಯಣಂ ನಮಸ್ಕೃತ್ಯಂ ನರಂ ಚೈವ ನರೋತ್ತಮಂ ದೇವೀಂ ಸರಸ್ವತಿಂ ವ್ಯಾಸಂ ತತೋ ಜಯಮುದೀರಯೇತ್. ನಷ್ಟಪ್ರಾಯೇಷು ಭದ್ರೇಷು ನಿತ್ಯಂ ಭಾಗವತ ಸೇವಯ ಭಗವತೆ ಉತ್ತಮ ಶ್ಲೋಕೆ ಭಕ್ತಿರ್ಭವತಿ ನೈಷ್ಟಕಿ. ಮೂಕಂ ಕರೋತಿ ವಾಚಾಲಂ ಪಂಗುಂ ಲಂಘಯತೆ ಗಿರಿಂ ಯತ್ಕೃಪಾತಮಹಂ ವಂದೇ ಶ್ರೀಗುರುದೀನತಾರಿಣಂ ಚೈತನ್ಯಮೀಶ್ವರಂ ಪರಮಾನಂದಮಾಧವಂ. ಮಮ ಜ್ಞಾನತಿಮಿರಂಧಸ್ಯ ಜ್ಞಾನಾಂಜನಾಶಲಾಕಯ ಚಕ್ಷುರುನ್ಮಿಲಿತಮೇನ ತಸ್ಮೈ ಶ್ರೀಗುರುವೇ ನಮಃ. ನಮೋ ಓಂ ವಿಷ್ಣುಪಾದಾಯ ಕೃಷ್ಣಪೃಷ್ಠಾಯ ಭೂತಲೆ ಶ್ರೀಮತೆ ಭಕ್ತಿವೇದಾಂತ ಸ್ವಾಮಿನಿತಿ ನಾಮಿನಿ. ನಮಸ್ತೆ ಸರಸ್ವತೆ ದೇವೆ ಗೌರವಾಣಿ ಪ್ರಚಾರಿಣಿ ശൂന്യവാദി പാശ്ചാത്യന്യം പ്രവൃത്യാനന്ദ സതി ഗൗരഭക്ത വൃന്ദ. ഹരേ കൃഷ്ണ ഹരേ കൃഷ്ണ 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 ഹരേ 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 രാമ ഹരേ രാമ 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 ഹരേ ഹരേ. Hare Krishna, welcome for our special discussion Vaishnava etiquette. This is an important topic, especially for Vaishnavas, those who are practicing Krishna consciousness, because behavior, attitude of a devotee makes a lot of difference. He said that the words, your behavior makes louder than your preaching. I may speak so many things, but if I don't behave like this, people easily will identify, So how long I can, do a false acting. So that's why Vaishnava etiquette is important. So we discussed few points. So Tuesday we discussed about the preaching, how one must preach. So we'll continue from there. The point number 11. Please unmute yourself, start reading. One should have.
One should have a balanced approach while preaching. A good preacher will always understand the need for the devotees in different categories. Just as in material life, there are bankers, lawyers, doctors, and so on. In spiritual life, too, there is a need for, and there will always be willing candidate for the renounced order, and also for those in the household of professional category. Both varieties of devotees are necessary and valuable. ನನಗೆ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಭುಜಿ, ಸ್ಕ್ರಾಲ್ ಅಪ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು.
So one second. Mataji, one second.
Yes.
This is an important point, because sometime out of enthusiasm, we may say something without knowing the audience. We have to understand the audience. Example, we are all coming from different background. For example, somebody is worshipping Ganesha, somebody is worshipping Lord Shiva, somebody worshipping different Devi Devatas, somebody worshipping Bhuta. Man, it's there. If I all of a sudden say that you are, kind of, if I say that, that will hurt them. They will never come back. But that's not the purpose. Purpose, Prabhupada also appreciated. But at the same time, he gave the correct knowledge in a right manner. So you have to see the time, place, circumstances, and give a message very nicely but appropriately, without hurting their feelings. That's the most important. Prabhupada, once in America, he was addressing all the CEOs, managing directors of big, big companies, big crowd. Prabhupada spoke. Prabhupada said, "You people are working like donkeys and asses. You are spoiling your life." Prabhupada said this. And everybody was laughing and smiling. And while coming out, some of his disciples asked, Prabhupada, you spoke such a harsh word. Prabhupada said, I know, but they accepted because I'm an old man. I'm a sannyasi. They will accept, but you don't repeat that. Sir. Because he is an elderly man, because he's a sannyasi, and because such a renounced person, they accepted it. And they took it seriously. But if everybody repeats, they may not take it. So we have to see whom I am addressing, what is the place, and also we need to understand is a grasta, is a brahmachari, is a lady, a man. Again, time, place, circumstances, we have to speak. So that's the important point because in Swayam preaching, I should not damage the preaching. Okay, next 12. Others also can read. Huh? Please unmute yourself quickly. Let's not waste because we have just 30 minutes left. Go ahead.
While preaching to a particular person, our approach should be to advise what is best for his Krishna consciousness.
Continue.
There is a need for qualified brahmacharis, qualified grahasthas, qualified vanaprasthas, and qualified sannyasis, and we should encourage a person according to where he can make the best spiritual advancement and serve Srila Prabhupada's mission.
Yes. So we need everybody. We need brahmachari, grahastha, vanaprastha, and sannyasi. Similarly, we need brahmana, kshatriya, vaishya, shudra. That's how the society is. Chaturvanya, maya, shishta, guna, karma, vagasha. Krishna is very clearly saying we need everybody. It doesn't mean that one is great, one is less. Actually, many of the sannyasis are glorifying grahastha. They are saying you people are doing such a great job because grahasthas has got so many responsibilities. They have to work, they have to take care of the family, which is most difficult, and they have to support other ashramas, sannyasis, brahmacharis. They have to do that. So on the top of it, they practice Krishna consciousness. They spread so much. So appreciate sannyasis, appreciate, but at the same time, we should appreciate sannyasis also because they renounced everything. They are fully dependent on Krishna. They have no bank balance. They have no life insurance. Their only insurance is Krishna. That is their commitment for Krishna. So we have to appreciate both. At the same time, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, we need Brahmanas, we need Kshatriyas, we need Vaishyas, we need Shudras. So everybody is required to serve the movement of Krishna. So it doesn't mean that one is great, one is less. Everybody is equal. Okay. Next. Devotees, please unmute and read. Anybody else? Please, or Asha Mataji, go ahead. Others also, please unmute, please. Otherwise, go
There is
ahead.
a need for qualified Brahma. Oh,
That's
sorry.
done.
Basic etiquettes must be followed when another devotee is preaching. He should not be suddenly interrupted unless there is something urgent.
Mm. Okay, next. Next point, Mataji.
Basic courtesies must be followed. Example, wishing with smile, being helpful if someone needs help or guidance. Now, new people should be made to feel at home and should be given great abundance of love and hospitality,
Yeah. So,
particularly on
yeah,
Sun.
this is a very okay. Read that point. Yeah, particular.
Particularly on Sundays at the temple, devotees should first associate with the guests and newcomers and then with the regular devotees.
Yes. So we need to deal with the newcomers. We need to deal with the seniors. Like for example, the senior pravachanaka, we have to be appreciate. And during the class, no disturbance, no kind of moving here and there. At the same time, we need to do our service and also how to deal with the newcomers. Newcomers are guests of Krishna. They should be made feel at home. Otherwise, next time they will not come. So that's the duty of every one of us, talking to them and understand. And after the event, asking them how did they felt, what program connect during the week, connect them. So this is what happens and should happen. Otherwise, our movement cannot grow. Sanatana Dharma, we can keep saying Sanatana Dharma, but how will we spread unless we reach out more people? Because this is a very important point. We need to be, everybody should be careful. Okay, next.
May I
Anyone
propose it?
else?
Yes, yes, Mataji, go ahead.
While we
Ah,
While we preach to new people, we must always remember that preaching to devotees is equally, if not more, important. So, while we make newcomers feel at home, regular devotees should not be neglected either. At
Yes, this is an
out,
important point. Our devotee care, regular devotees should be taken care. This is the most important point. Otherwise, what will happen that we will go after one new person, existing 10 people run away. That shouldn't happen. We should take care of existing people. And that's why devotee care is so important. Weekly keep in touch with them and calling them, understand what's happening. Each one of us has to do that. This is a mutual help. So unless we do it, the movement cannot grow. Yes, brother. Next. Maybe next point onwards, the Mataji you can read, but Mataji you can continue.
yes, Pratik. At outside programs, newcomers and guests may be given preference for asking questions after the lecture, particularly um,
When time
when
is
time is limited. Regular devotees may ask may ask pertinent questions to create an atmosphere in which newcomers would be encouraged to put forth their questions, or when newcomers have finished with their queries and there is still time left for more questions.
yes. So
Correct.
the point is that newcomers to given a priority and also should be facilitated. We should not create sometime, because newcomer they don't know. They may ask something. So others should adjust and redirect the question such a way that they feel comfortable. I mean, the speaker also should not give harsh reply, should understand. I'll just give an example. Last Sunday, one of the Mataji was talking about one particular personality, which is not as per Sampradaya, because he or she heard about that. But for time being, I kept quiet because saying in front of them for a newcomer may not be, they may not feel it, because a regulars may, yes, I can say that because we know each other. But for a newcomer, I should be very careful. So like that, while talking also, another example, one of our regular devotee only, Mataji was trying to help in one particular service. As soon as she came, another Mataji said, so and so has come with the, means just a demeaning comment. So she felt that, what is this? I'm only for this. That kind of a comment should not be made because they feel kind of offended. We should be very careful. So that's why the words has to be spoken thinking 100 times. Okay. So next 2 points you can read.
We should not advocate or preach breaking of the laws of the land in the name of doing something for Krishna. Devotees should adhere to these laws too. We should not be sectarian. We should respect all bona fide religious and spiritual paths. In particular, we may show special respect for other Vaishnava sampradayas.
Yeah, these 2 points in the guise of preaching, we should not know. Tomorrow onwards, we'll kill all people, anti Sanatanis. No, we cannot take the law in hand. We should respect law. We are part of this citizen, part of this country. We should respect and we should go as per the law. And also, we should not insult anyone for that matter, whether they are, bona fide or not. Here, bona fide is even it's not bona fide also. We have no right to insult anybody. Especially while speaking, don't name anybody because naming will be shaming. That shouldn't happen. And of course, definitely we'll appreciate Vaishnava Sampradaya. There are four authentic Vaishnava Sampradaya, Sri Sampradaya or Lakshmi Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya, Kumar Sampradaya, Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. These are authentic Vaishnava Sampradaya, but there are others also. Doesn't mean that we should insult anyone. That's the most important point. Okay, next. The very important topic is prasadam.
Prasadam. May, so first and foremost, one should eat only prasadam, that is, food that has been offered to Lord Krishna with devotion. Ideally, one should eat food that is cooked by devotees, offered to the Lord by devotees, served by the devotees. One should try to come as close as this ideal standard as is practically possible given the limitations of city life and needs of preaching.
Yeah.
Um,
So prasadam is the most prasadam sakshat darshan of Krishna. So we may distribute food, but that cannot change the consciousness. Prabhupada built the whole International Society of Krishna Consciousness by distributing prasad. Prasad offer, bhoga offered to Krishna with the love and affect by the devotees, cooked by devotees, offered by devotees. Krishna says, Asnami, I'll eat. Then it'll become prasad. Just because if I make big feast, no, Krishna may not like it. Like we have so many examples. We have example of Krishna coming to Duryodhana, Duryodhana inviting. Duryodhana made a varieties item. Krishna did not go. Krishna went to Vidura's house. Similarly, in our house also, even make simple prasad, make out of love and offer to Krishna, serve devotees. That will be more tasty and more effective. That's why in RR Nagar also, next Sunday, we are planning to cook ourselves. I don't know, those who are in RR Nagar, please come early, help us. Because this is what happens is this, the bonding develops. We'll work together, cook together, and serve together and eat together. That's a family bonding develops. This is exactly your Prabhupada saying. Cooked by devotees, offered by the devotees, served by the devotees. See the mood of development, and that is what consciousness changes. So maybe at home also, try your best. That's why Prabhupada says, see the limitation of city life, but try your best to improve. I mean, don't take it granted. That is the point. Okay, next.
Unless absolutely necessary for preaching or service, food cooked by non devotees should be avoided. In the same spirit, all commercial food like chocolates, ice creams, chips, biscuits, cold drinks, bread, etc., should be avoided at home. To guests, one may offer homemade foods and natural drinks like lemon water, fruit juice, etc. Commercial items may be selectively had while traveling or in otherwise compelling circumstances. Where the prasadam one is carrying with oneself is not sufficient, or as an addition, un- uncooked and raw foods like fruits, nuts, meat, etc., are preferable to commercially cooked items.
Mhm.
Sometimes, while traveling or in the course of some preaching or service or professional work, one may be compelled to eat in a restaurant. One should select, if possible, a restaurant which is purely vegetarian, and even then be careful to order items which are without onion and or garlic.
Okay.
One
So
should
yeah, so first point we discussed importance of prasad. Now seeing the situation, maybe traveling or visiting guest or some functions. If we are out to eat, so as much as possible, avoid at places where non-veg is cooked or avoid onion garlic, and as much as the whatever such prasadam can be offered to Vishnu, just saying Vishnu, Vishnu, Vishnu 3 times, and sincerely pray to the Lord. Yes, due to unavoidable circumstance, I'm taking this. Please forgive me, and please help me to come out of this in given situation. So at the same time, we should be very careful not to offend. For example, we go to somebody's house. Somebody house, they, I mean, prepare something and give you. Then if you say no, then they will get offended. So generally what we do is that while before going itself, we'll tell them that either we are not eating today, we are fasting, so that they don't prepare itself, or they say some excuses, no, I don't eat night, so some excuse in advance itself, they are mentally prepared, not that after they cook everything kept ready saying no. So take some fruits, that's okay, but as much as avoid at places where non-veg is cooked or at places cooked by non-devotees. These are the some of the basic, because the consciousness of the other person comes to the food. That is the most important thing, especially the restaurant. The cook may be fed up of the owner. So you'll be cursing throughout the day, and the whole consciousness will come to us. That's why very, very careful eating out. I'm preaching, but I'm not practicing, but at least we should do that. Okay, next point.
One should eat prasadam which is sattvic in nature and avoid foods that are rajasic, that is, foods which are very spicy, oily, and rich. The bhoga must be offered in the proper way at home. Prasadam should not be wasted. Excess prasadam should be put on another plate before eating. After everyone in the family has eaten, if prasadam is still left, it may be retained for some time for the next meal, if possible, or distributed outside somewhere.
Yeah. So here, so eat prasadam, sattvic nature, not no high spicy or chili or pungent. But very, very sattvic prasadam. Also, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is clearly saying that any food is cooked more than 3 hours is a mode of ignorance, he says, should not be consumed. So we use refrigerator. Some people keep for days because all the prana in that refrigerated food is gone. We don't get anything out of it. More than that, the whole food becomes the mode of ignorance. So as much as avoid refrigerated food. So very, very clear saying, suppose you cooked and left, keep it for the very next meal. You not keep in the fridge and for days together and finish or distribute, immediately distribute so that we don't waste. But pressure should not be wasted. At the same time, we should not be unnecessarily stored. Okay. Next.
Prasadam should be eaten only with the right hand. The left hand is for touching other parts of the body. While serving prasadam, the serving spoon should not touch the plate or the half eaten prasadam. One should eat prasadam in moderation and preferably at fixed times of the day. Overeating and eating wrong kinds of foods are not good for spiritual life and also for health. Controlling our diet will help us control our tongue, and this will help us in turn to control our senses.
Yeah. So one, yeah, use of hand. I think generally Indians we are good in that. But while serving also, serving spoon should not touch the plate because the serving spoon is used for holding prasadam, and the plate even before somebody eating, the plate is juta. So we should not touch the plate. Should pour it up. That's the point. And also, one should eat prasadam in a moderation. Moderation means it's generally said that at least 75% only. Keep 25% empty stomach. Don't overload because the overload it becomes lethargic and sleepy. So and many time eat unwanted things and become the high cholesterol and BP sugar. So these are the things can avoid it. Mita ahara and mita vyavahara. The both should happen. The limited mean or moderate eating and moderate exercise, moderate entertainment. This will help ideal life. Otherwise, what happens that we eat unwanted things and then go for gym, spend or running, not required. If properly limited eat sattvic food and exercise like some walking, and actually doing dandavat. The most important exercise, the dandavat. Dandavats to the namaskar to the Lord or devotees. That is, it gives a lot of exercise and it gives a spiritual benefit also. So that way we can, do both. Okay, next.
Before honoring prasadam, appreciate a prayer. Prayer should be chanted. Prasadam must be honored with a consciousness that it is Krishna's mercy and is non different from him. Therefore, except where necessary for preaching, one should maintain silence. Hearing a lecture or a cassette at this time is also beneficial.
Yeah, this is important. We are saying honoring prasada, not eating. There's a difference, right? Prasadam is not eaten, it's honored. Because Prabhupada used to sit actually facing to the wall so that nobody could see. Nobody could disturb because he's fully focused on prasad. Nowadays, while eating prasad, we keep talking or doing so many things, somebody watching mobile, somebody watching TV. I mean, all those things should avoid it. And also it said we should chant before honoring prasadam, there's chant mantra Mahaprasade Govinde. We should chant the the mantra is given in the page. We can by heart it. They should be chanted because it's a Mahaprasade, it's a kind of a mercy of the Lord. We are so fortunate to get the mercy of the Lord. That's why we should honor it with such a respect. Even one grain should not be wasted. While in our center also serving, we should be take care, especially children, because children they don't know. Sometimes they don't know their capacity also. So we should serve maybe little. We can after they finish eating, we can tell them to take more. Otherwise, if serve, they'll waste. And wasting prasadam is more offense. That offense sin goes to the person serving, a person throwing also, and person managing also. Everybody becomes punishable. So very careful on that. Okay, next.
When guests visit the house, um, when guests visits the house, the bhoga that has been offered to the home deities becomes Mahaprasadam, which should be distributed to all present in small quantities. Fresh, hot prasadam should be served out as per requirements to all the guests, including Guru and Sannyasis. When senior Vaishnavas are present, we should patiently wait till they have begun eating, and only then we should begin eating, unless we are told otherwise.
Yeah.
Once
So while eating also, the served, we should wait. If the seniors are there, unless they start eating, others should not eat. I mean, that's the etiquette we should follow. Respect seniors. And sometimes they may say, okay, you go ahead, start. If their permission, yes. Otherwise, we should wait. Because that's how they respect. Otherwise, what happens that as soon as we take plate, start eating. I mean, we should respect others. That's the point. Okay, next.
one should get up after finishing prasadam only when all have finished eating except with the permission of senior Vaishnavas present. Gurus,
This is another point. We should not rush. When others are eating, we should wait. I mean, generally, Indian, that's the etiquette is there, but we should follow in the temple also because when others are eating, we should not get up because sometimes it's become embarrassing. But sometimes if they say, okay, go ahead, you can go, then okay. Otherwise, we should wait. Okay, next.
Guru's Mahaprasadam should not be distributed in presence of newcomers.
Yeah, this is
After
the important point because Guru's Mahaprasad means Uchista, the leftover of, because mercy comes in three ways: the Padaduli, Uchista, and the Charanamrita, the water washed the lotus feet. This is how the mercy comes. That's why the devotees are after the Padaduli of senior Vaishnava, pure devotees, or even the Charanamrita, water washed their feet, or even the Uchista. But at the same time, we should be careful not to distribute in open places because others may feel of bad. So we should give it only those really wanted and with the permission of the Guru. Without that, we cannot give. That's the most important. Okay, next.
one has begun eating prasadam, one one should not touch anything else with the right hand. We should not distribute prasadam unless we have washed both hands. One should not take prasadam in view of karmi public, that is while walking down the streets or while in procession. As far as possible, prasadam should be honored either in a private place or where everyone else is taking prasadam.
Yeah, this is the basic etiquette. While eating, don't touch anything. I mean, don't take the plate and serve yourself, unless if really emergency, keep the plate, wash your hands, rub it, then take it. Otherwise, don't with the juta, don't touch and don't even do anything else while honoring prasada because we are honoring prasada. Okay, next to the kitchen, very important for ladies. Somebody else want to read? Anybody else ready? Quickly.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, I will read.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
The kitchen is an extension of the altar. The kitchen is an extension of the altar because whatever is cooked there will be offered to the deities. So, whatever one is doing in the kitchen should be done with care and attention for the deities. Where the deities are formally installed as in temple standards, expected are quite high and strict. In comparison, some degree of concession may be offered in respect of household deities where it is not possible to maintain the same. A manual of Vaishnava etiquette. For example, it is a rule that one should not eat in the kitchen or in front of the deities. However, in many homes, the altar, kitchen, and dining table are all in one room, so it may not be possible to follow the above rules.
Okay, so two
Household.
points here. So kitchen is kind of Radharani's place because Radharani in charge of kitchen. So we should be very, very careful, maintain the cleanliness, and no, while Juta also, as much as possible, Juta plate and the Lord's plate should not mixed up, should be kept separately. And while offering also, their plate should be kept separately. And once cooked, it should be offered to the Lord, and prasad and bhoga should not be mixed. These are the some basic etiquette we have to follow. Okay, next.
Prabhu, what is the difference between
What?
Prasad Boga? Prabhu? Prasad
Sorry?
and Boga, what is the difference, Prabhu?
Yeah,
Prasad?
the bhoga means which is not offered to the Lord. Once offered, Lord become prasad.
Oh, okay, Prabhu.
Once, because when you cooked, it's bhoga. Till you
Hmm.
offer to Lord, it's bhoga. Once offered, it become prasad. So the prasad should not be mixed with the bhoga, and that should not be offered again. You understand, no?
Okay, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, that's the difference. Yeah, go ahead.
Householders, however, should keep the ideal standard in mind and try to come as close to it as possible in their particular situation. One should always remember that one is cooking for Krishna. The more careful one is in regard to these small rules, the more one can become conscious that one is not cooking for oneself, but for Lord Krishna himself.
Yeah, next point also.
Only clean, uncontaminated clothes must be worn in the kitchen. Clothes that have been used outside or in the bathroom cannot be used.
Yeah, next.
Fingernails should be clean and clipped. Hands must be washed upon entering the kitchen before beginning cooking. In the temple, bath must be taken before cooking. At home, it is preferable to do so. One
Yeah,
should not put anything in one's mouth in the kitchen. One should not rinse one's mouth in the kitchen sink. In particular, one should not taste or smell a preparation to test it.
yeah, this is the important point because there are certain standards in the temple, and you, as a householder, we may not be able to maintain all the standard, but we have to at least try and our best to keep high standard, which within the facility available depends on what kind of a house we have, how big is the house. I mean, these are all time, place, circumstances, but most important our consciousness. Our consciousness that we are making something for Krishna and we are offering to Krishna with the love. So the important thing, we should not taste it, should not smell it. That's very, very important because Juta we cannot offer to Krishna. We are not like Shabari. Yes, Shabari is that level she gave, but we are not that level. So we should be very careful on that. Next.
Where possible, there should be no eating or drinking in the kitchen area. If this is unavoidable, the curtain in front of the deities must be drawn. The vessels in which boga is cooked for the deities in particular, and the plates and the cups in which boga is offered, should be kept and washed separately from the plates, cups, and glasses in which the family devotees eat or drink.
Hmm. So what we are going to offer to the Lord should be kept separately. We should keep separate set of plate, glasses, which is to offer to the Lord. That should not mixed with our other plates and should be kept separately and should be washed separately. And once offered, and take that prasad, mix with the main dish and wash the plate, keep it separately. Then serve others. That way, we should not mix the God's plate and our plate. So, of course, here cleanliness talks about as much as possible cleanliness of the cloth, cleanliness of the hand, nails, etc. should be taken care. Yeah.
If one has an infectious disease, one should not work in the kitchen area as one may contaminate the boga and the vessels. If one touches the floor or the dustbin or the lower part of one's body, one should wash one's hands. There should be no unnecessary talking in the kitchen. The cooking platform, stove, sink, etc. should be cleaned up before and after cooking. One should work carefully but efficiently and avoid cluttering. Anything that has fallen to the floor cannot be put on the tables. If a vegetable falls on the floor, it may be washed and then used. One must not enter the kitchen straight after using the toilet unless one has taken a bath. Very important, devotees must be absolutely careful that no hair falls in and contaminates the offerings. Absolute caution must be exercised in this regard. Devotees must keep their hair well covered while cooking.
Yeah. With this one point also.
Mahaprasadam should not be eaten directly from the deity's plate, but it should be transferred to another vessel or plate before being eaten. The temple standard is that one should not begin eating until the deity's plates have been washed.
Yeah, so these are the few points. One, of course, definitely we have to cover a hair. Hair should not fall. Wherever gloves required, use the gloves. And the cleanliness to be maintained. If something falls down, should not be used. If it uncooked vegetable, yes, wash and use it. Otherwise, don't use it. Cooked one, if it falls, don't put it back the plate. And the plates offered to the Lord and bring it back, mix with others, wash the plate. Till then, don't eat. These are some of the standard we should maintain. Uh, Again, time, place, circumstances at home, how much we can do, and we have to follow. So uh, this is a mantra. So we'll continue next week. Now I'll open the floor for devotees to ask questions, comments, if any. Devotees, please unmute yourself. Nandanacharya Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Ave Puja, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Want to share anything?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
You want to share anything?
ನಿಮ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ವಿ ಪ್ರಭುಜಿ, ಇವನಿಗೆ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ನನ್ಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಕನ್ನಡ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಸ್ಪೀಚ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಪರ್ಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
Okay, sir. Okay, anybody else want
Sorry.
to share, ask questions, anything?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Mataji.
ನಾವು ಇಸ್ಕಾನ್ ಬಂದ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಷ್ಟು ಗೊತ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ ವೈಷ್ಣವ ಅಪರಾಧ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ, ಆದ್ರೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದು ಅಪರಾಧ ಆಗುತ್ತಾ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನ್ ಪನಿಷ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ತರ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ, ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ?
ಇದು ವೈಷ್ಣವ ಅಪರಾಧ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೇಳ್ತೀರಾ?
ಹೌದು.
ಅಪರಾಧ ಖಂಡಿತ ಅಪರಾಧವೇ, ಆದರೆ ಅಪರಾಧದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ನಾವು ಪರ್ಪಸ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿದೇವ ಅಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲದೆ ಮಾಡಿದೇವ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಕೆಲವೊಮ್ಮೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲದೆ ಆಗಿ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆಗ ಭಗವಂತ ಇದ್ದ ನಮ್ಮ ಹೃದಯದಲ್ಲಿ, ಅವನಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತು ನಾವು ಉದ್ದೇಶಪೂರ್ವಕ ಮಾಡಿದೇವ ಅಲ್ಲ ಇದು ಇದು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲದೆ ಮಾಡಿದೇವ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲದೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಭಗವಂತ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕ್ಷಮೆ ಖಂಡಿತ ಕೊಡ್ತಾನೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಉದ್ದೇಶಪೂರ್ವಕ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಕ್ಷಮೆ ಸಿಗಲ್ಲ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಕೇರ್ಫುಲ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು. ಆದಷ್ಟು ಅದು ವೈಷ್ಣವರಾಗ್ಲಿ ಯಾರೇ ಆಗ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೊಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ ನೋವು ಮಾಡುವುದು ತಪ್ಪಲ್ವಾ? ಯಾರೇ ಆಗ್ಲಿ, ಅದು ವೈಷ್ಣವರಂತ ಆದ್ರೂ ಭಗವಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ, ನನ್ನ ಭಕ್ತರಿಗೆ ಅಪರಾಧ ಮಾಡಿ ನಾನು ಬಿಡಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಭಗವಂತನೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. ಸೊ ಹಾಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಕೇರ್ಫುಲ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು. Sorry, those who are in others, what Mataji is asking, if I commit some offenses to the devotees without knowing or before coming to ISKCON, I'm not aware, then what happens? So, yeah, offense is offense, but the point is that if I done unknowingly, Lord may forgive certain extent. But knowingly if I do, nobody will forgive. Should be careful.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, if
Amen.
we do offense is done, what will happen to us, Prabhu?
Sorry, what's offense happen?
Offense is done means what will happen? What is the effect for us? What will happen to us?
Yeah. So especially there are different offenses there. When especially Vaishnava aparat, Vaishnava offense done, our bhakti reduces immediately.
Okay.
It says the bhakti lata bija is kind of destroyed by offending a Vaishnava. That's the first
Hmm.
thing happens. So
Hmm.
when you offend a Vaishnava, you'll not be able to chant properly. You will not get
Hmm.
the feeling of chanting. Your
Hmm.
bhakti. Prabhupada says like it's a mad elephant entering the garden. The Vaishnava aparadha should be very, very careful. So your bhakti reduces. That's the first
Hmm.
thing. And maybe, there are difference between offense and sin, right?
Hmm.
So doing something for that, sin also incurs. At least sin, there's a prashchita. But offense, there's no prashchita also. So we
Hmm.
should be very careful.
Hmm. Okay.
Anybody else? Another 2 minutes or 1 minute, then we'll move on to Bhagavatam class. ಓಕೆ ಸೊ ಬೇರೆ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ ಆದರೆ ನಾವು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ನಿಮಿಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗವತಂ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಗೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಇದೇ ಲೈನಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗವತಂ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡೋಣ. ಓಕೆ.